Hey guys, so this video is the new and improved version. The first time I put it out there were quite a few remarks that I got from Twitter that said my video contained some offensive content and there were people out there that were hurt by my comments. So I have taken on board that feedback and I've decided to revise my video to make sure that it doesn't contain any offensive remarks that could potentially hurt anyone. This is just a disclaimer. I hope this is the best way to go about it, because I am firmly of the opinion as a reviewer that you should always share your honest opinions, but that doesn't mean that you're perfect and that people can make remarks that actually overstep people, and that's definitely not what I wanted. So I've reflected on that content and removed any remarks that could have been found offensive, because that definitely wasn't what I wanted with this video. It's simply just a fun video to share my honest opinion about why both of these books offended me and why I was upset by them. Obviously, Black Leopard, Red Wolf and Norwegian Wood are both by marginalized authors, so being of a marginalization myself, it's definitely not what I wanted to do to put people off reading this content. If it is a book that they wanted to pick up themselves and experience for themselves, it's simply just something that I wanted to do to share my own thoughts. That's all I wanted to say about it, so I hope you guys do enjoy this video. I didn't want to put anyone off reading these books. If this content is something that you really want to read and that you do enjoy, obviously it's important to support marginalized authors, which I do in a lot of my videos and a lot of my reading habits. So if it is for you, I definitely don't hold it against you at all. And in fact, I think it's important that we all encourage different opinions, and when an opinion is problematic, that people do provide that feedback and that we are constantly growing and learning and taking it on board. So anyway, so without further ado, I hope you guys enjoy my rant about these two books. And as always, if you have any thoughts or comments, leave them in the comment box down below. And yeah, let me know what you thought. Hi guys, this is Jean from Happy Indulgence, and today I really need to get a rant out. So I'm going to be ranting about two books that have really disgusting sex scenes, and they're basically both from male literary fiction authors. So just a disclaimer, if you like these books, if you like these authors, I don't hold it against you at all, and it's simply just my opinion and my own thoughts and feelings about it. And yeah, I hope no one gets offended aside from the content that I'm going to talk about. There is a lot of adult content and sexual content, so yeah, just a trigger for that. But yeah, let's just get started about these two books with disgusting sex scenes in them. Oh my gosh, I just can't even stomach it. So recently I asked on Twitter whether anyone was interested in seeing a rant video, because I tweeted about two books by male literary fiction authors. One that had a disgusting sex scene with a minor, and the other one with a disgusting sex scene with a leopard. I know, like a leopard. And people were like, what, like, you know, an actual leopard with spots? And I'm like, yep, not a guy called Leopard, not some object or whatever called leopard, but an actual leopard itself. It was disgusting, guys. So first, I'm going to go into the leopard one, and then I'll go into the one with the minor. So the leopard one is Black Leopard, Red Wolf by Marlon James, and I actually read this for the Name of the Book Club pick this month. I didn't read it actually. I read about 60 pages and then I was so done. It's not even funny. So I'm really glad that I was actually warned about some of the triggers in this one, that is going to be really confronting, really graphic, and not for everyone. But oh boy, when I opened the first few pages, and there's pretty much a guy talking about the amount of holes that he can take, and he's basically referring to young children, to daughters, and 200 cows. Like, yeah, I'm not even joking, guys. Like, this book is so viscerally disgusting that I had to literally reread sections of it because I could not literally believe what I was reading. And it gets like even more scarring because I'm like, hang on, that can't be right. It can't be a guy talking about screwing cows, right? But like, the more I had to read it to confirm what I was actually reading, the more I got into it and could picture it in my head, and it was just disturbing. And I'm like emotionally scarred from this experience. You look like a man who has never shed blood, and yet blood sticks between your fingers. A boy you circumcise, a young girl too small for your big ... Look how that thrills you. And then later on it goes, regard yourself, a man with 200 cows who delights in a patch of boy skin and the coo of a girl who should be no man's woman. Because that is what you seek, is it not? Oh my gosh, I am like, oh my god, I can't with this book. I don't know if it's a good thing, but the good thing is at least you can know that this book is not for you from like page 4, or it's actually page 2, because that's where like all these disgusting things refer to about like the amount of holes that this dude can go into. Oh my god, I just don't even want to talk about it because it makes me feel all squeamish and disgusted inside. But okay, so I'm actually impressed I got up to page 60 actually, because I could see how like what it was referring to, child violation and rape and dehumanizing the people that it's talking about. And then there's this leopard, right? Like I can't even think of the leopard now because of the disgusting things that happened to this leopard. But apparently it's a half man, half leopard. And then this dude, right, whoever the main character is, he just stumbles upon a man on top of the leopard screwing him. And there's like a tail wagging, and apparently he hasn't shifted into a man yet. He's a leopard. Like, what the hell? That happened on page 60 and I was like, oh my god, I just can't even... oh my god, it's so disgusting. It's so disgusting. Oh, and like... There's another scene where like this dude's like walking along, he bumps into an old witch who's a crone. All of a sudden he's screwing the crone for no reason at all. Like it's just like, you know, random bestiality, just casually like, hey, here's a leopard. Oh yeah, you know, here's what I'm doing to the leopard. Here's an old lady, she's a crone. Oh yep, I'm suddenly just doing the old lady. And I mean, what the hell? Like, are people just there for you to screw? Like, oh, like I really don't understand it. Oh my god, just the way it describes things is so visceral and disgusting, and oh, I just don't even want to talk about this book anymore, guys. But yeah, Black Leopard, Red Wolf, if you do not like rape, casual bestiality, child violation, sexual abuse, brutal, gruesome scenes about people's bodily functions and body parts, and yeah, like cows and leopards, if you're not... Oh my god, okay, yeah, I'm done, guys. I have to calm down now. Oh. Okay, the next book I have to rant about is one that I was actually looking forward to reading, and that was for the Asian Readathon, which I'm participating in this month. It's by a literary fiction author who is so overhyped, who's in every bookstore I see. He seems like he's universally loved, and that is Norwegian Wood by Haruki Murakami. I read the blurb and it sounded totally up my alley. It sounded like a sweet love story about a college guy who's obsessed with this girl and he wants to know more about her. And I thought I was in for a tender, loving, sweet Japanese story about this guy in college. Nah. Instead, what I get is this self-obsessed college guy. His name is Toru, but he has pretty much no personality. And his personality is that he's completely obsessed with these two women who apparently throw themselves at him. Like, all he can think about is sex. And women are apparently throwing themselves at him, including a girl called Naoko. And she's held in a psychiatric retreat. And then this other girl pops up out of nowhere called Minori. And she is the biggest manic pixie dream girl in like that I've ever heard of, because Minori, apparently she wears short skirts, she always talks about sex. In fact, apparently every man just wants to get with this beautiful Minori. But oh my gosh, in the audiobook she had this voice that was completely grating, and like she was just so self-obsessed and she would just babble about the most inane, boring topics. And this guy's like, like literally there are scenes of him going, that's great. And oh my gosh, I did not care about Minori because she was so boring. Like, she would just babble whatever was off the top of her head. It's like she came across as an airhead, and all of a sudden she would just start sexually propositioning Toru, you know, just casually. Like, that's just what you do. Like, hey, would you like to take me to a porn flick? Make sure it's really dirty and it's a really hardcore porn theater. like a really dirty one. And I'm just like, what the hell? Like, are those even a thing in Japan? Like, fair enough, this book was written in the 80s or whatever, but oh yeah, can you just imagine like walking up to a random stranger going, hey, take me to a porn flick, I want the really dirty ones. It's so weird. And Minori just comes across as like a complete bimbo, a complete airhead that loves throwing herself at men, and she loves to dress really sexily in short skirts, and apparently she's oblivious to her sexual charm. This is what the male author thinks of women, guys. Like, they're just there to throw themselves at him. They're pretty much dick teasers, pretty much. The thing that really disgusted me about this book, aside from being a self-obsessed book about two girls throwing themselves at the most boring guy in existence, he has no substance to him whatsoever. Actually, this whole book just doesn't have substance, but at some point Toru goes into the psychiatric retreat and he goes and meets Naoko, who is his childhood friend, who he has also screwed and who he has an obsession with. And Naoko has a roomie who's a friend, right? This roomie goes into the bizarre recollection of a lesbian experience that she has as a married woman, or had because she's divorced. So it's a 13-year-old girl who throws herself at her violin teacher, who is a 32-year-old married woman. And not just that, a detailed sexual encounter. Like, oh my gosh, and it was disgusting. Like, as if you're meant to believe that a 13-year-old will throw themselves at a 32-year-old married woman, and that she actually liked it. And it's really disgusting because it just made it out like a male sexual fantasy, and like, it felt like I was reading porn, and I was really embarrassed about it because I was listening to it on audiobook, right? So, oh my gosh, it was so disgusting. Oh, did anyone not see anything wrong with that? I mean, the way it was placed, it was non-consensual as well from the married woman's perspective. And even though she liked it, apparently she liked it, but she was slapping this girl and telling her no and to stop, but the girl kept on going, and she's like, oh my gosh, like, oh, it was disgusting. It just made me like, because like, it's pretty much sexual abuse, but between a minor. Like, I can't believe this was in this book, and oh yuck, it was so disgusting, guys. Like, oh, and because it's written by a male author, it's not counted as an abuse story, right? It's counted as a like sexual fantasy. Like, there's even a line in there that says from the older woman, she's like, I've never come so hard in my life. Oh my gosh, I can't, oh yuck. And she's like, I keep on thinking back to that day. And I'm like, not only are you recounting your previous trauma to some random guy that just appears, but you're also telling him like you're trying to turn him on or something. Obviously, that's about all I can rant about with both of these books, because I DNF'd both of them. Obviously, after the lesbian non-consensual sex scene with a minor, and Exhibit 2, the sex scene with a leopard. Oh, I can't, like, never in my life would I think that I would be saying these words. But yeah, anyway, it feels really good getting my rant out. I feel a bit better now, but I am scarred for life, guys. Scarred for life. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my videos if you'd like to see more. Thanks, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.